Hello everybody, this is Larry up in Brandon, Minnesota. This is my Virginia Gold tobacco in a back to Eden style garden, mulched with wood chips that were pretty well decomposed. They were a couple years old when I got them, and boy, they are working great. Very, very little weeds, and the ones that are pull out so easy, it's awesome. I will definitely be doing this from now on. I love this system. I did this one with wood chips, and I have another tobacco garden over there I did with leaf, so we'll see. But anyway, that's the Virginia Gold tobacco, and it's growing great. Here is my garlic that I got from a gal at work, and it's looking good. I'm pretty happy with it. We'll see how that goes. Here's some little celery transplants I got yesterday, and just planted them and watered them in good. The green onions I had in here are all pulled out, and what I wanted to do is get some beets going, so I planted 3 different kinds of beets in there and watered them in. So come on, grow baby grow. Here is my rhubarb that I started this year, and it grew so well in here. I couldn't handle it anymore, because I did about 20 pints of Strawberry Rhubarb Jam last year, and I just love it. It's got to be my favorite jam. So I harvested a bunch of rhubarb out here that were pretty nice sized stalks, left the smaller ones. I'll water it good, and it's all mulched with the back to Eden style. And so I'm just gonna, I made up a bunch of that today, and I'll show you. I've got a bunch of other rhubarb over here that I had left totally alone. Over there, smaller stalks. You know, it's not the whole bed of compost, probably why it didn't grow as well, but it's still doing great. And by next year, I think it'll really be doing good. And my asparagus here, I'm just totally pleased with it. This is my back to Eden style raised bed, and this has got my asparagus. Okay, Larry's been a little busy today. I took that rhubarb out of my raised bed garden, and I made this recipe, and I'll put a link below the video here for you guys. It's Sure Gel, their Strawberry Rhubarb Jam recipe. Really good recipe, simple to make. One thing I did do is I made the first batch over here, and it calls for 6 cups of sugar, and so I made a double batch, you know. But I'm going to tell you this, it was so, my rhubarb out of that raised bed was so sweet. When I was cutting it up, I tasted it, I said, this isn't even hardly tart. I couldn't believe how sweet it was. I made it according to the recipe, and my wife thought it was a little sweet. My daughter, of course, the kids, they loved it. But I cut it back, and I made a double batch, and instead of doing 12 cups, I left out 3 cups of sugar, and it's got that good rhubarb flavor. This batch here, I cut it back. So the regular recipe calls for 6 cups of sugar. You might want to try, when you're mixing it in, put 4.5 cups in, and depending on how tart your rhubarb is, you know, and taste it. And if it's real tart, maybe you want to use more sugar, but otherwise, I'm going to go with about 4.5 cups. Okay, here's over on the other part of the garden over here. These are some tobacco plants. I mixed up my own potting mix, and you check out my channel, you'll find the recipe for that. And I put these tobacco plants in there. I also did a bunch of tomatoes in them. And I see old Reganite71, thank you Reganite for the shout out. He made up a little trellising thing with a shoebox thing for the bottom. And I kind of got like something like that. See over here? Well, I made these out of landscape fabric myself, these grow bags. What I think I'm going to do with like these tomatoes over here, I'm going to do something kind of similar, but I'm going to make a big one. I'm going to take like a little kiddie swimming pool, I think, and I'm going to put them in there. And it's really kind of funny, because I was listening to Jack Spirko the other day on Survival Podcast talking about he had Jeff Lofter, whatever his second name is. He's really into permaculture anyway. He was saying about how some company was making a perforated plastic container to grow stuff in, because it would like self-air prune the roots. Well, like a grow bag. Well, then they would flood an area. They had these shallow trays that they set in, and they would lift it and they would weigh the containers, and when they got so light, that's when they put a couple inches of water in or let them all absorb it up, and then do it. Well, I'm going to do this kind of the same kind of thing. I was thinking along that lines, instead of watering individually or like Reaganite 71 was worrying about the water coming out. Well, I want the water to come out. I want it to air. I want it to breathe. I'm going to use like little baby swimming pools or something like that, kiddie swimming pools, and I can put 5, 6, 7 of these in there, and just when they need water, put a couple, 2, 3 inches of water, let it absorb, sub-irrigated. That's what the rain gutter system is, a sub-irrigated planter. These would be a sub-irrigated planter, same thing. It's just a different water reservoir rather than the rain gutter. And you let it suck up. And what I probably do is on the bottom is drill a little hole and put like a boat plug or something like that, so when they're been watered well, I'll remove the boat plug and just let it, so if it would rain or something, the water just run right out. I'll make a little access hole where it can go out, and a little hole in the ground there or something so it can drain out. I'm going to try that anyway. I thought it'd be kind of fun. Some other tobacco plants I just threw in there, but here's I'm having fun with these. This is potatoes in a bag, Walmart bags. And what I'm going to cover these tomorrow now with a little more dirt up to the top, and then that's it. I started, put about 1/3 of dirt potting mix in, planted 3 or 4 potatoes in there, red potatoes, and let them shoot through about 1 inch, and then covered them. And then let them shoot through 1 inch and cover them. They're supposed to make potatoes at different levels. We'll see. But here's another. But I'm going to do all these tomatoes that I did in these bags. I'm going to put them in like a little baby swimming pool or something. And I really like Reaganite 71's idea how he trellised. You got to check his channel out. He's got some really cool stuff on there. I love his drunken compost video and things like that. You'll have to check it out. I'll put a link to his. You need to subscribe to his page. A really funny guy. Really funny guy. He's. I love his videos. You got to check it out. Anyway, we'll go on. This one over here is just, look at the tomatoes, doing great. And so I got tobacco plants up the yin. Like I told you, I raised a bunch, planted them, I sold a bunch. I got a bunch left. I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of them. Maybe I'll give them away or whatever. But let's head over here and look at the rain gutter system. Well, I've been putting it off and telling everybody else, get them all hooked up for the floats. Well, who's the worst one in the bunch? Kind of me, okay? Well, I got her done. Here is a back to Eden strawberry bed. I got to weed that, a little bit of weeds, but they'll pop right out. 13 units, all hooked together. It's 80 today, supposed to be 85, and high 80s and 95 later this week. You know what? This is what's beautiful about this system. Plan it and forget it. I don't got to worry. It's hot. I don't got to weed. I don't got to worry about slugs. I don't have to worry about cutworms. Nothing. I got cucumbers up the yin-yang in here. There's a pumpkin plant, tomato plants. There's broccoli over there like crazy. There's a squash. There's spinach, carrots. There's more lettuce, Simpson lettuce. There's peppers, tomato plants. There's a tomato plant in the bag that I put the net cup through the bag and through the lid and drilled a hole and put it through there. So it's so the bag doesn't fall into the rain gutter. But this, see, okay, got them all hooked up. See, there's one. What I did is I got all these floats. The ones I got with the 1/4 inch barb. See, little 1/4 inch barb on the end, and that works great. So what I did is you could just tee them. See, so if you want to do multiple ones, it's great. I went out of this one over to that one and put a tee. Then I run over here to another tee and teed off to that one, up to a little tee. Tees are cheap, 39, 40 cents a piece. Hooked up. There's another one, another one. There's another one. You're worrying about the algae in the gutter? Don't matter at all. Don't bother a thing. They're growing like crazy. I ain't even going to worry about it. Doesn't hurt nothing. I had it last year. My brother, you want to see algae? Look at his algae on his rain gutters. on his floating boat dock. Oh my gosh, he's got algae like crazy. Does it affect it? Huh, he's got a monster crop. Nope, doesn't seem to bother at all, people. So, just so you know, these are just going great. This is a Super Sweet 100. There's a Rutgers. Thanks, Bobby. Down south. Okay, I keep forgetting his name. MLP or MHP Gardner. Anyway, he's I love his stuff. The guy really knows how to raise tomatoes. I'll get it right yet. But anyway, Bobby. I know it's Bobby, and I know he's in the Rutgers. He gives a lot of tomatoes away, and he's raised just tons of them. Anyway, he's the one that got me hooked on these Rutgers, and man, are they a healthy plant. Here's Celebrity, and those Polish ones are supposed to make Roma tomatoes like 4 times bigger. Got little cucumbers going all over here. I think there's some more over here. Where the heck are they? Yeah, there's some more. Look at these fat ones. Oh, my wife says, how come these such a fat? I said, I don't know. They're pickling cucumbers, you know. I don't know. There's so many different varieties. You plant them and see what happens. I guess if you like them, keep the seed packs. Anyway, there's a Celebrity. That one's going great. Over here, there's some more radishes. Look at the little French breakfast. Look at them babies. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're looking good. Anyway, here is some potato plants I did in the buckets, okay? Same thing. Put about a third full of potting mix, my own mix on my website. Anyway, you put in 3-4 potatoes, just cover them. When they pop through, cover them again. Keep proceeding. Now this one, I'll probably stop. These two, I'll add a little more, just cover and let them go. Then just let them grow out. Lots of broccoli. These are them Romas and stuff. But yeah, everything is looking great. Like I said, it's going to be super hot the next 4, 5, 6 days, and I don't got to worry about it. That is what is so sweet about the self-watering rain gutter growth system. You plant it, and you don't got to touch it. You don't got to worry about going out when it's sweltering hot I got to go out and weed the garden because it rained for 4 days. No, I don't got to do that. And the back to Eden gardens hold the moisture so well, I haven't even watered since I initially set them up the tobacco plants. You know, here's the one over here. Okay, I don't know if I did that. These are the other tobacco field. I started these about a week later, okay, and they're doing pretty good. Not as good as the ones with the wood chips, though, so far. We'll see. No weeds over here, that's for sure. I mulched this with like 4 or 5 inches of leaves, so we'll see that. Maybe I'll go with all wood chips on all of them next year. Wood chips really seem to, that's what the guy, Paul Gauchi, said in his Back to Eden video. All will work, but he prefers the wood chips. Well, maybe that's why. Anyway, things are growing great. There's my little strawberry planter I planted 4 strawberry plants on the top and 4 around the side. Drilled holes in the side, just popped them in there, and boy, look how dark green that is. Just unreal. Anyway, things are growing great up in Brainerd, Minnesota. Just wanted to show you the update, and that I have got all mine hooked up. 13 rain gutter systems, all hooked up with floats, all watering themselves. I can sit in the house and have a nice big glass of iced tea when it's hot, 80, 95 degrees out, or some of you people down south, 100, and I don't got to worry about it because it's watering itself. Anyway, this is Brainerd This is Larry up in Brainerd, Minnesota. And we'll talk to you soon. Ciao. Okay, one last thing. You know that strawberry rhubarb jam that I made today? Couldn't stand it any longer. So we got to taste test it. I haven't tried it yet. Let's see. My God. You got to make some, people. The recipe's under the video. Oh, I love strawberry rhubarb jam. Don't you? This is Larry at Brainerd. Try some. Ciao.